Man, I love that already.
It was a good one, Shane. You did a good job.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? A little off-schedule show for you here tonight. We talked about it last week. We had the chance to do the interview with the Sebastians, and of course, we're going to get into that. But we had a major announcement drop today on us out of nowhere with WPI and NTPA and the Outlaws. Zach, do you want to kind of take that over because you've kind of had a chance to read into it more than I have today?
Just basically, I read the press release. Everybody else did. Full Pole Entertainment, WPI, and Outlaws have joined forces to, come into, I don't know if you call it a partnership, buyout, whatever you may call it, but to move the sport of pulling forward.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of questions that are kind of being asked right now as like why and where. But just reading their announcement, the WPI and NDPA, they're in negotiations. It says it's critically important to emphasize there will be no changes to competition structures, rules, schedules, event formats, or day-to-day operations for either group during the 2026 season or at any time in the immediate future. Both NTPA and Outlaws will continue to operate independently and conduct business as usual in 2026. And I'm sure there's going to be more that will come out about this. Certain details are still being finalized. The direction and intent of this process are clear. All parties moving forward in good faith and full alignment is the final outcome here. So it looks like 2027, they're just going to flat out be underneath the NTPA umbrella.
That's kind of the way I read it. Nothing's set in stone. You watched Dan Mayer's video, today he emphasized that no changes for 26, which I think this late in the game, that's a very, very smart move for both organizations, not to just upset the apple cart, this close to season.
Yeah, absolutely not. But you guys have any additional thoughts for this as to like where this is going to head? Does this make the NTPA's schedule a lot bigger in 2027, you think? Do we see places like Wisner and Rock Valley become Grand National hooks?
All I can think about is do not get the cart ahead of the horse and do not assume something that you do not have information on.
Right.
It's way too early.
Like Charles says, this is the silly season you've ever seen in your life. And I think it's going to get more. It's not over. It's going to get more silly, but I don't know if we're going to know any of that till fall. What they're going to do.
I don't either.
I think it's important they got the announcement out to get it, on the radar with what's going on in the sport, in my opinion. And I'm glad they did. I think it's good for all parties involved. I really do.
Yep. So let me throw the question to you guys for this. What do you guys hope this accomplishes overall? I know, Wyatt, for you in particular, I would imagine a rules unification on the Super Farm side would be a want because of where you guys are geographically based off where the Outlaws run to.
This isn't just a Super Farm thing, really, because you're at the point where I read with the implication of a new regional single engine modified class, which within regions I do not know yet if it's region 3, 2, whatever it is. It's basically bridging the gap from the west to the east. So
it's coming in 2.
Mm-hmm. So
there's
at least bridging the
gap of them up here already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then East Central Iowa's got him too, and that's kind of like the bridging the gap there. So it's not just Super Farm; it's 4-1. It's obviously this class coming. How does this help other areas of pulling? Like, do the Outlaws with, say, closer hooks within the region as well? They can hit both, and say rules unification comes of some sort. Whether they align with NTPA or Outlaw currently, it's gonna help in one way or another because the easier ways to cross bridges without having to go through customs and whatever you want to call it for polling, it's much easier.
Yeah,
I agree, and I think it's kind of like any business in this world today: buying power. The more you can conglomerate and get together and put your product out there. I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the Wisners, the Rock Valleys of the world become Grand National hooks. and then they do develop a new region out there. Time will tell, but I just think as far as the polling scene goes and growing, the two organizations are going to feed great off each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be some good communication. I look at, away from the competition side, the efficiencies that they can pool some resources on, particularly insurance. Now you can combine both tours for their experience modification on policy, and probably, I'm hoping, get better pricing in future across both groups, and that only helps everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the possibility of like what we see with elite motorsports and drag racing, the possibility of sponsorship allocations across multiple organizations too, I think would
that's what I say. The bigger you are, the more sponsorship, the more eyes you got on the sport. I think you take Case IH, for example, sponsored both organizations. Makes perfect sense from Case IH's.
Oh yeah.
I think it's good, and I'm anxious to see where it goes.
What's this do to the box turbo deal, you think, on the 4-1 side?
No, according to that press release, nothing.
Until
Well,
27.
At least until 27. So
I think you're going to see. I kind of in my opinion, your thing of rules, unification. It's going to come to that because I think you're going to see they're going to have to put the rules together if they're going to run under the same umbrella. That's all there is to it.
Oh yeah. It'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out, though. There's a lot of things happening in the world of pulling.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of like the last really and truly quiet couple of weeks that we have because we're only 3 weeks away from Cloverdale now.
You're a week away from
quiet. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. It isn't going to be quiet.
You have Christmas Eve tomorrow.
On the motorsports side, sir.
No,
on the motorsports
side,
it's going to calm down a little. I think.
I don't think.
No,
so.
it's not.
The silly season is just beginning.
By the way, halt your speak of quiet motorsports. We're a week away from another poll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right down here in Lexington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I drove by Eddie Carey's place today, and there's one sled sitting there with a smoke machine on it.
Yeah. Man,
it's coming.
I retract my statement then. Jeez,
we're there. It ain't slowing down. I mean, you got Lex, Cloverdale, Farm
and
Show,
the dirt
Murphy
for Chili
Trail,
Bowl is in.
And the Chili Bowl and the Tulsa Shootout are
U.S. streets are on the way.
It ain't slowing down, bud.
Yeah, it is. This is as quiet as it's gonna be. This is it.
Okay, for the next
you gotta enjoy these next 56 hours.
You right.
You know why it's quiet? Because
right.
everybody else is wrapping gifts for their kids. That's why it's quiet.
Yeah.
Which I still need to
We
do.
do appreciate y'all jumping in tonight, though, for sure. Man,
there was another kind of announcement that got slid under the radar today. I don't know what everybody's opinion is, but PPL removing the turbocharger limit rule for Pro Stock.
Oh yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know if I saw that today.
How I feel about that. I think it's a good idea, but
it was not on. I don't think it was on their main page.
It's on the PPL
on the tech page. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that.
But they knew about this at the banquet, though. This was happened for a while.
Yeah.
So NTPA's got the 6.5 limit, right?
Yep, which is what everybody agreed on.
My ignorance, I did not know NTP had a limit.
I didn't either. I mean, it's changed so long since
it's changed so
Aaron
often.
Was there. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can tell you on that is that we'll see, because did they remove it for Farm Show too, or do we know?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
To be honest with you, for the ones that I've been talking to, if you're running that big or bigger, it's not always the best thing for you.
That's kind of what I've been told. I know there's a red one out there this year that took the big one off and ran a lot better without it than he did with it.
Yeah, he did.
And you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it made all the sense in the world. But yeah, this is going to be a great few weeks here going into the wintertime. I mean, there's rumors that the Mats is having their tractor pull back in there again. Nothing confirmed yet, but I'm only assuming based off what they put on the page the other day that it's going to be back.
Seen that.
And we're only 60-ish, 70-ish days from the Grand National season starting now.
Charles, how many days are you for you in Florida?
Oh, I don't want to count that far in advance. It's not enough. Not enough.
Yeah.
It's probably I got to be like 75 days out from doing that.
There's
Yeah, it's
worse
gotta be-
places. There's worse places to start the Grand National season than in Florida, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Way worse places.
Well, I guess you got to go to Fort Wayne.
I got to do that. Well,
That's a terrible place to go.
we'll see on that one too. I don't know if that deal is completely done yet either.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not why we're here tonight.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything that we need to cover. I think. Because I'm really interested to jump into the stories here because Miss Debbie, you and I got to know each other a little bit this summer in Campbellsville whenever you guys came and helped out the Long family and everything. Zach, I'm going to let you take the reins. You know this one way better than I do.
Well, first of all, Anson is stuck in traffic somewhere. Hopefully he can join us in a little bit. Christmas Eve traffic, driving a truck, got him. For any of you who don't know, Debbie's my mother-in-law. They had a four-wheel drive truck for a lot of years, and Debbie cut her teeth on a pulling sled. So we just kind of wanted to bring the history. We got, I know of 3 shows lined up. We're going to do this, I guess, history of pulling. This is episode 1, so I know of 3 we've got lined up that should really be a fun series to do for sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, we went on a pretty good streak there whenever we first did the first version of this. We had Tim Engler, Gardner Stone, and I think we had another. I can't remember who it would have been though. Do you? Larry Roberts.
Larry Roberts.
Yeah, that was the first one we ever did. So yeah, we're gonna kick this back up again. We've got a few more coming down. Wyatt, you've got one secure for us, and then January 20. Is it the 20th? Zach, that we decide on?
Yeah, we'll announce that at a later date. But yeah, January 20th is going to be a big one.
Yeah, we might announce that whenever we're live at Cloverdale. What do you think?
That's my thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Charles, you're going to be here for all of those.
That's fine. I can do that.
Yeah. But all right, let's jump into all these stories and everything. Talk about the pulling sled side of everything. Let's just start there from the beginning before we even got to the truck pulling side.
So we're going to go way back. So Dad had his first sled in 68, 69. So I was roughly 4 years old when Dad started. And then he bought the Rock. If you go back in the old stuff, the Rock was one of with the big concrete. He bought that in 70. And I know you will never believe this, but the pullers were complaining. Go figure. They didn't
Oh,
like
you mean
pull-
even back in the 70s?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Zach.
No different today. Damn sled
No.
operators.
Damn sled operators. So they didn't like it. So Dad decided that he could do something different and built his first sled. Dad ended up building 5 sleds through the years.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And those were in the old days when you sat on the very back of the sled. I can remember them making the kill switch rule. I can remember them putting the second hitch rule in, and I can remember how mad the pullers were at having to have that second hitch. But at the farm show, we needed it that year that it was required.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then
Why's that?
tractor broke loose, and the second hitch caught, and the first one didn't.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I can remember the kill switch being put in. I mean, these are things, you're going, I don't know how far back you want to go with this, Shane.
However far
Far
back you
too
want to
long.
go. I'm just purely listening at this point. I'm enjoying this already.
So, and I'll leave out some names for safety's sake, but the kill switch was a big one as well. And for years, the kill switch was on the side of the sled. So if a tractor or truck was running away, somebody on the side of the track would run up and pull the kill switch that was hanging on the side of the sled.
Oh, so it started on the side then. It wasn't always on the operator's panel.
No, it was
Wow.
not. So then it was put on the operator panel. And I can remember at Farm Show, and you have to remember, I grew up with the TNT guys, and I can even tell you before that started, if you want to hear stories on that too, guys,
yeah.
that whole thing. But so they put that rule in, and Billy Joe, we had a truck that his throttle stuck, and his truck was not being shut off like it should be. And I was riding, and I waited about 5 seconds. I was giving it time to let the alcohol, if that was the case, go out before it shut down, and it never went off. So I hit Dad had a starter button that would coil it up. So I hit that button, killed the truck. And Billy Joe was standing there. He was watching the whole thing, and the puller got out of his truck and came back and let me have it and told me that my job was to sit on the back of that sled. His job was to take care of the truck, and I was to never do that again.
Oh, that didn't go well.
So Billy Joe, I don't know if y'all remember the notebook that he would always carry in his pocket.
Oh, yeah.
So he pulled out, he came up to me and he said, "Did I hear what I just think I heard?" And I said, "Yes, sir, you did." He pulled out his notebook and wrote down the name. I was like, okay. So that was, again, putting those safety things in. Sometimes we think are the most ridiculous things, but I can remember over and over again where they were so needed. And there was reasons why they were put into place.
So, I didn't realize that the second hitch rule was a rule even back then. I thought that was more of a modern practice just by one organization.
Year would that have been?
Let me text my brother.
I can remember photos of like indoor hooks in the mid '80s, and they were there in magazines and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Your neighborhood geese are quacking. I'll shut the door.
sorry. Can you all hear the animals in the background?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, they can't hear them, so I guess it's okay.
All right.
The
Good.
horse is back there. The neighbors have put a bull in over there, and we got the ducks going crazy.
We are in the state of Kentucky, so you got to watch out.
I can't even defend it this time because you're in Kentucky.
So as far as sled wise, the most pulls that we ran, and then people talk about how much they run in a weekend. On a Labor Day weekend, we ran a total of 7 events in 2 days. We had
Do what now?
right, so we would pull all
Wow.
day. They'd have a morning show, an afternoon, and an evening, and with the multiple sleds.
Yep, I'm out.
Yeah, you'd have been long out, wouldn't you?
I don't like to run more than once in one day.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So as you know, the sled people, we always say we're the first ones there and the last ones to leave,
Mm-hmm.
and we really are.
It's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
What year did you guys start at Farm Show? Get the sled.
Early 70s. We were not allowed to go in the early years.
Right.
Why's that?
Well, first off, it was family where they were going to put all 4 of us kids.
Okay, fair.
Dad's exactly. And I can remember us begging to go to the farm show, and Dad let us go. And I was in the very top. You couldn't get seats together because it's always been full. So I was in the very top row by myself. And I can remember my uncle was sitting down a little bit, and he'd come up and check on me to make sure I was okay.
Was that before the floor was lowered?
Yes. Oh, way before the floor was lowered. Yeah. I heard you remember the floor. being
There's some
lowered as
pictures
well.
of my dad pulling before the floor was lowered on your dad's sled.
Let's see. I'm going to text Rich and see if he remembers and
We
share.
tried to get Rich to come on tonight, but he's too busy partying in St. Louis tonight. So
Oh.
But Dad pulled at the farm show as a puller before he had the sleds. Dad pulled an Oliver. And if you look back, you will.
Surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Shocker. Yeah, Rich just sent me pictures. He does not have time for me, I don't think, right now. Did we just lose him?
no.
Oh.
No, we're here.
Zach's over here playing with his computer. So Dad pulled an Oliver 88. He and the gentleman that helped build his sleds, Lamar Gruen, had an Oliver. And if you go back, you will see that Dad had a pulling tractor with a lawn chair on it for a seat.
I think I've seen a couple of old pictures of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dad had the lawn chair. And he actually won the farm show before he took the sleds there. Yeah, Dad and Lamar Gruen.
I got the chance to see your dad pull at Half Century of Progress years back.
Last year. Yeah.
Yep.
We were there with
So-
the tractor that year.
Yeah, Dad loves his pulling. That was for sure. So that was, the sleds were from late 60s, if you want to call that the first sled he got that really wasn't much, up through the 90s. And Dad always said that when all of his kids grew up and married and moved away, he lost his help. And that's kind of true. So I can remember Farm Show, the TNT organization getting started. We were at Owensboro Dad, of course, had the sleds there. Our whole family was there.
Outdoor, I assume.
Outdoor. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Donnie Biddle came up on Saturday afternoon and he said, we'd like for you all to come to lunch tomorrow at the house. And my dad was like, didn't know what. Dad's like, okay. So he's telling Mom, and she's like, what for? And he goes, I have no idea, but he's asked us to come out to the house tomorrow. So we go to Owens. After the pool, we stay. We were going to go home that night. We didn't. So we go to Donnie's the next day, and Donnie's kids and us, we're kind of outside. I mean, we're just kids. And I can remember Mom and Dad getting in a semi, and Dad said to Mom, he goes, do you know what that is about? Mom's like, I think I do. And he says, they're getting ready to start an organization.
Oh, this is before TNT got
Before
going.
This is
This is TNT.
Okay.
So they had planned that the summer before and met with Dad at the Owensboro pool and then started the organization in 79.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize TNT was so much in my back door because Owensboro's only
Oh, it's right down there by you.
Right.
hour and a half, maybe. There's no
Yeah.
good way to get to Owensboro either.
Yeah, but Billy Joe, Donnie, Carl, Gene, Drag, all those guys.
Now, what was the gentleman's name? England. What was his name?
Joe.
His first
Joe
name?
England.
Joe England.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
Now,
the one
they're
who liked to
pulling
water
now.
the track at the farm show all the time.
Right. So now they're pulling now. His son is
I'd heard
Mr.
that.
Brad, right?
I
I
did.
think-
I don't know the name, but I think you're right. Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
Joe England. Yeah, he was the one who was in charge of the water hose at the farm show. Everybody had a job. Just like Drag did all the lineup. He stayed over at Broadbent and he checked everybody off. He would keep track of the numbers just to keep track with what was going on in the building because you know, I had the PA there. And when Anson won the farm show, Anson still has it. Drag gave him the cards where he kept track of all the numbers while they were pulling.
That's cool.
That was that manual stuff that we used to do a lot of.
Wow.
And then, so do you have a question, Shane?
I was going to ask, when did you guys implement the laser system on the sled?
I do not remember what year that was because we went back and forth.
It was a farm show, wasn't it?
We actually tried it before farm show because there was a question of its accuracy. And then there were some pullers that, you know, because and still this day, we would pull up to a block. There was either a 3x3 or 4x4. You would bring we had a string that went across the back of the track. That was the starting line. And people would put the block where we were supposed to bring the wheels to. And they moved up to the cone. So there was some question on how accurate it was. And we were at a big event. It may have been the Dome. And Sherry and I had no idea, but they were Jerry, I don't remember Jerry Barrett or not, from Utica. Mm-hmm. Jerry, he was one of the Owensboro boys. He would measure us back. And he said the most that we were ever off was 1/8 of an inch.
Oh, wow.
That's
So
pretty
it showed that it was, they were manually measuring, but they were trying the laser at the same time.
Mhm.
That's kind of what's been going on lately with, I think, Bauer and them trying, the Trimble GPS system and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that's
get
the
it,
new
and
thing going forward.
It's been pretty dead on, I think.
Has it?
Yeah.
That's what he said because he basically ran it all year as an unofficial and back checked it against the lasers. It's right there.
It's time to go to GPS. I mean, technology's there. It's time.
We've been using it up here for several years.
We use an IPL constantly.
Yeah.
That's all we use.
Yeah.
It's time, it's safety. It's
Somebody at the end of the track
Right,
pointing the
I was gonna
laser
say.
at the
Mhm.
at the machine, and GPS is here.
where somebody could actually hit the truck that it's on.
Yeah,
Been
I've
there,
seen that
I've watched
happen.
Mhm.
I've seen that.
not pull the kill to the track. God, I gotta quit. Sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah.
So other questions, guys, that come to mind? Because I gave you a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of info at one time. My goodness. So now, the TNT that's going on now, is it related at all in any shape or
Mm-mm.
form?
No.
or is it just bringing
No,
the
they're
name
the
back from
TNT.
Kentucky type of deal.
Yeah, my understanding was that was licensed for so many years, and then they didn't renew it. That's my understanding.
Because how long did the original organization go away?
The last pool was in 90, I think.
90.
I think it was 1990.
So, and then TNT with Mr. Eddie just came back in what?
It's been here longer than you think, I think, now, hasn't it?
It has been. It's been
20, maybe?
20 years?
I would
15
say
years?
it's been longer than that. 10
I
or
mean,
12 years.
how long
Eddie's
it's
did a good
been.
job with it down here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm trying to figure out, correlate the timelines because I wasn't really sure when TNT of now started.
I don't know if it'd be on.
I want to say it was sometime around, I think you guys are on the mark, right around 2012, 2014, somewhere in there, because by 2016, I was coming down there for indoor TNT shows.
Mm-hmm. Which Rupp Arena, I think, was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, was it in Rupp?
And
A couple of years, he went to Rupp twice.
Really?
I know Mayhill did a TNT show, I think, in Rupp Arena. And I want to say 2010.
Was that the year that the Armed and Dangerous boys and the Light Supers all came down there?
What year did we get married, Candace? So it was like
15.
So like 2013, something like that, I think.
That's right in there.
There's old videos of it out there.
Because Mayhill's new sled, it was right after Richard Love built that sled for Lowry's, I believe, and Chad brought it down here that first year and they did it in Rupp. I remember that.
Okay. For some reason, I would have thought that would have been Jim Hill then.
No, Chad was here because I'll never forget it. I was down here and I was at the Cracker Barrel at Scottsburg. And I went by Chad and Roger were stopped on the side of the road and one of them had a flat tire and both sleds were sitting on the side of the road. I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
That's the most random way to remember.
But it's how you remember, though. They say how you remember, though.
Right.
I didn't know that was in Rupp Arena, though. I thought that had always been.
It was only like 220 foot long, wasn't it?
Right. I don't even think it was that long. Because
Yeah,
I think Gaines was there too. I think Gaines came over and ran.
because when you guys did them indoor shows back, I mean, you guys used to run 150 feet at times.
Oh,
didn't you?
sometimes, yeah. Tallahassee, I think, was 140.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time here in Detroit, I think before the Silverdome was ready to accept it, there was times when there was pulls going on at Cobo Hall downtown. It's a hockey arena. I mean, there's no room in there to have a long track.
Yeah, there's.
That camera quality is terrible. I think I've got a video of some kind on here.
TNT sold to SRO in 1990.
So SRO would have been.
They merged what? TNT and
USHRA
USHRA got merged under SRO.
Right.
Okay, that's
the monster
right.
trucks and
Monster
everything
trucks.
coming involved at that time. And if I remember right, weren't they doing like some mod shows at tractor pulls and stuff where I remember like wasn't Doug Downs and Voorhees and them guys at some monster truck shows?
Yeah, there was.
SRO.
They did some runs, yes. Some.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I know they did.
Shows.
I saw them here.
Yeah,
At
there you go.
Yeah.
That's Chad's sled.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is light limited supers with KTPA too.
12,000 pounds. 2012.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was in Rupp Arena though. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Look at the tractors that are there though.
That was Al Cook. That was the
there.
entertainer sitting there. I know.
Yeah, I think it was. Who in the world?
So that was actually later than I think, because that's a Speedco sponsorship. I have to ask Chad, but I don't think they got that till a couple years he had the sled.
Yeah.
Still around.
Yeah, it is.
There's Sandifer, Cook. There's Chiswick and them back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So I wonder why they went away from it. Was it because of the length or was it just logistics, you think?
Probably, I would think the dollar.
Yeah. So
dollar and time of year.
Rent that building. And Shane, if you go back and look at the number of people that weren't there.
Yeah.
If for one it was, I mean, UK would have been playing in there too. It's the middle
Right.
of
That's
winter.
what I said. Well, it's hard to compete against basketball.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that pool was either in January or March.
In January.
Is what sticks in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's what it is now. I don't know what it would have
I
been.
mean, I can remember, and Shane and Wyatt may not remember this. I know Charles does, but I can remember back when Louisville played at Freedom Hall, and you'd stay in there. They'd pull, and they'd be playing basketball at 1 o'clock the next day.
Oh yeah.
No, I do
Before-
remember that.
They'd be finishing the
Before
Saturday
Bellamy
night
ever
last
did.
top 3 winner circle, and there's already dump trucks rolling in to take dirt
The
out.
excavator's down the
Yeah.
tunnel, and away we go.
Yeah. Danny's crew was always there ready to go.
So now it's funny you say that because I'm looking at it now. 2013 would have been the first year they went to the Alltech Arena over there in the horse park.
So 2010 had to be in Rupp, I would think, I think they did rep 2 or 3, 4 years.
They
Yeah.
did?
2013 still underneath KTPA too.
I saw that when you were showing that.
So talk to us a little bit about KTPA. Did you guys have much involvement with them?
We ran KTPA a lot when we had the super stock because there was
Did
so
ya?
much. Because there was so much around here.
Like super
And-
stock tractors?
Trucks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wasn't
see,
that on DOT tires?
No,
It wasn't.
no. So the super stocks. So you go back to merging classes. So there was a super stock 4-wheel drive that had a 370
Okay.
cubic inch limit, and then there was a mod class. So like the Duttons, Billie Jean, Mike Witt, the Wilsons, the McClones, the Mobleys, all of us ran super stock.
Mike had a super stock truck.
He did.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Which I think the super stock she's talking about is kind of like what we run with IPL and ITPA and stuff now.
Mid-South, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Carbureted.
yeah. And then
Cubic inch limited, little smaller tire.
they put on a
Little bit,
hell
yeah.
of a show.
They did. They
That's-
put on a fantastic show at Cloverdale last year.
Mhm. Jake's little truck's that now that Isaac runs.
Right.
Brad Chamberlain, them guys.
When we were at the farm show, my sister Sherry actually taped the tack, so Anson couldn't see it till it hit 10,000 to come out of the hole.
Oh my word.
They would
Whoa.
scream.
Yeah, they scream now.
Yeah, sure did.
So talk to us about your experience at the farm show. I think I was watching some old tapes the other day. I think I saw you were first took a couple of times there, right?
I drew number one more than once. So, and it's okay because if I screwed up driving, I can have a second chance sometimes. You know,
If the axle didn't break.
if the axle is
Zach.
right. Yeah.
Zach.
No, he's
No,
right. It was more than once. Yeah, he would, and you always find your weakest link. They say at the farm show, and you
Yeah.
did find. So,
Yeah,
we-
Wyatt, I don't know if you heard it, but back whenever they had the truck put in storage up until I think you said you got it out one time in 2015,
20, was it
2010.
2010.
2010.
Farm show and then
Mhm.
Stanford.
Right.
Yeah. Whenever they ran Sanford, they didn't realize that they had broke the axle at
Axle.
farm show.
Exactly.
Found out pretty quickly.
Yeah, we absolutely did. So yeah, we
Yeah,
love the
you'll-
farm show. It's, and I know it's controversial who gets in, who doesn't get in, and
Mhm.
political and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, if you get in, you're tickled to be in.
Mhm.
And if
Oh,
you don't-
absolutely.
And if you don't get in, you may say you don't care, but sometimes you do care. There,
Yeah, whoever says that, they're lying.
it's very honored to run there as many times as we did. Absolutely.
How many times
Zach.
did you guys run there overall?
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
15?
I mean, between you and Anson, how many times was it?
I can begin to count. Lots. And the amount of times I got to ride down the sled on the sled. And
She ran the sled in there.
I ran
quite
the
a bit.
sled for years at the farm show.
Wow. So
Mhm.
kind of talk to us about that then. Since you operated, what's it look like then compared to now, in your opinion?
Oh my gosh. There
Is
is no
it
comparison.
simpler?
There's no technology because we used to ride at the back. So to go back even further, when we motorized the sled,
Oh,
you think about how much. So they always used implement.
Tell the story about the guy jerking you off the back of the sled.
Should I?
Yeah.
what?
So the goal was to give more, if you think about it, track space with a motorized sled and safety. So the farm show, they did not want to pull out. They wanted an AC or a John Deere or some piece of equipment bringing the sled back. So even though
Okay.
the sleds were motorized, we couldn't use it at the farm show for a couple of years. We weren't allowed.
Oh, wow.
No. So then I'm embarrassed about it now, but at the time, so we had a gentleman who was not familiar with farming, but he worked in the implement company, and I won't mention any name.
Uh-huh.
So he wanted to drive the tractor back. So we would you get off the sled, drop the hook in the clevis, and they would go to the starting line. So he would go wide open to the starting line, and I would have to take the brakes and lock up the sled so that I was not hitting him. And he would
Mhm.
pop the clevis. He would not tighten the cable. And I told Dad, I said, if he keeps this up, I said, something's going to break. And, Dad tried to talk to him and tell him, go. He went up there and goes, you got to tighten the rope and then you throttle it down when you're coming to the starting line. And the guy would not listen. And we had railroad clevises, huge clevis. So he pops the clutch, the rope yanks, and it breaks that clevis and it goes beside my head.
Oh no.
And my Anson's boss was sitting up there and watched me. And I looked at him, I said, now out. And he got out of the tractor. And the next year, we did not have to have somebody pull us back to the starting line anymore.
Yep. So now, whenever you guys had the sled there, did you guys have the smoke tube and everything on
Yes,
it? Or no?
we actually had to build the sled, the pan. We had to rebuild the setting to be able to bolt that to the smoke machine.
How hard was that to do? I guess the first question would be was one of the sleds really built for the indoor side of things more favorably?
Not originally, but we made changes. I can remember when, and now the bars under the sled, that's a big thing now. I can remember Dad pulling the pan and having to come up when we're running 140 feet. Let's be honest, you have to be able to stop. And you have to remember, we had Bruce and Tim. You want to talk about a ride?
I bet it was.
Oh my gosh. Sherry and I both were like, okay, I get to ride. We had to take turns on that class because we both loved those classes. All those engines. It was awesome. So Dad, I can remember him turning the pan over and welding beads on the bottom of the pan. That's how bars started out, was with welds.
Really?
Now you got them this big.
Now you got bars. Now you're bolting those bars on.
They hurt if they're that big. They hurt.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I can remember Dad saying, "I'm going to have to go home and weld some more welds." I mean, and he'd pull the pan, and they would do that. And Dad had a welder. His name was Lamar Gruen, and so he pulled tractors with Dad. When Dad started building more sleds, Dad made a deal with Lamar. Dad bought the welder, and Lamar traded labor for the welder because Lamar didn't have a welder that Dad needed.
Now, towards the end, didn't the Bowling Green sled have the smoke machine on it?
So what happened? We were having to pull we were taking two sleds a lot of times, and they needed a backup sled. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So it ended up, and it worked out great, that we ran non-smoke and they ran smoke.
The Bowling Green sled.
Bowling Green sled. But we both were able to run. If something happened to the other sled, we were able to pull that.
I wonder if I wish that could kind of be a thing there at Farm Show now, to be honest with you, now that you say that.
You'll never see, and I see why they don't. You'll never see one of the sleds show up without a tower on it. They can't have that much downtime.
Right.
I mean, they just can't. I mean, it works at Lexington because, hey, if you gotta move a class tomorrow night, you can move a class tomorrow night. At Farm Show, they don't have time to move a class tomorrow night.
Because, I mean, look at how many of them are alcohol now at Lexington.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never see Vaughn show up without a tower on a sled at Farm Show.
No, it used to be, and man, when that pull was over, you have to take it all apart. It all had to come down and be packed in the box.
I seen a Snapchat or TikTok or whatever of Bo and putting, the telehandler. A lot easier than it was back then. They just set in the weeds until you need them. They pick them up a telehandler and bolt them on with, 10 bolts or whatever it is, and you're good to go.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they could haul that going down the road like that either.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
You used to not be able to.
Did you know that, and Charles probably does, I don't know if Wyatt and Shane does, DeCoin, Charles, what year to be? They ran two sleds and one common box in the middle that both sleds had.
That was like 08 or something when they tried that?
Lowry's had two sleds with Tucker, Hager, that whole deal, where they ran ran a smoke machine, two sleds with racks, and they went to a common box in the middle one out the back of the building.
Clint's already liked the show. I don't know if he's still watching. He might be able to tell us what year that was.
Because I can remember
I might still have the DVDs in the other room.
that was cool because I think they had a hydraulic flapper in the box, if I remember right. And somebody sit there, and when one track went, the other one did, and they closed the flap off. And because I think that year Shramick was there with the Diesel Super, Esden was there, Kenny Hale was there. There was quite a few DeCoin, and that was but The smoke machines have changed over the world too, over the years too.
So
Yeah.
years and years ago, there was the Owensboro boys owned that show.
Oh,
The farm
right.
show, the pole
Mhm.
itself. If you go back and look at the history of it, it's pretty cool. So there was with EPA and everything going on, there became a huge blow up about not enough oxygen in the building. So they decided the state hired people to come in and measure the air through the entire event to make sure that it was on the up and up. And I don't know if you've ever been under the sides of that arena, but there's like tunnels underneath. So I knew that they were measuring the air. I mean, we all knew what was going on. And of course, the smoke machine that leaks and that fills the building, and they put in special equipment to pull that out. But Sherry was riding at the sled, and Billy Joe says, "Come walk with me." And I was like, "Okay." So he goes, "I want to show you something." So we go underneath the tunnel, and he goes, "They're checking for the air." And I said, "I do." And so he showed me everything. And I was like, "So is this the state's guys?" He goes, "No, these are my guys." He goes, "I want to make sure the state is providing the right information." So there was 2 studies going on at the same time in that building. And that was Billy Joe. He wanted to make sure.
What was the smoke machine technology like then? Was it still pretty well what it is now with like how big with the big fan and everything outside?
It used to go out the back of the building, and then
And
they put
up the ramp?
Yes, and then they obviously through the years when they lowered the arena, they put in much better equipment. And if I'm not mistaken, I had to ask Mike, but I think they've even upgraded it a couple times.
Oh, it was upgraded 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Well, that was during COVID.
Really?
I remember I was down there one year after they upgraded it, and they had a Pro Stock sitting 10 foot from the tube. And I think I got a video on my phone somewhere, like 10 foot in front of the tube. I think it's it was Robbie Russell. It was the year he built the dark red Pro, because they had him sitting like 10 foot in front of the tube, and that thing was sucking every bit of smoke right into that tube from 10 foot in front of it.
Well, and it would melt the tube. If you think about that technology from the 70s and 80s, it's the tubes are so much better now. I mean,
I think that was about the same time that they hit the diesel super guys with the 7-inch pipe rule, and they blew a gasket. Then the next year they upgraded everything, and that went away again.
Exactly.
I remember that. Yeah.
And a lot
that was the year. I think that was the year that there was a few that didn't apply because of that.
I think there's only 3 sets of and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's only 3 sets of tubes in the country that can handle 12 Pro Stocks at a time right now. One's in Louisville, Kentucky, one's in Peyton, Iowa, and I think the other one, the last I knew, which it's been a while, Eddie Carey's did the year that he went to Farm Show. Well, every year that was, they used his smoke machine at Farm Show, where it went out the back and out the ramp. I don't know if anyone remembers that or not.
I don't know if his smoke machine can now.
His machine can't, but the tube can.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I remember we ran 5.0s at Murfreesboro on it last year, and it was all they could handle. It got hot in a hurry.
I mean, we get them hot. Brandon's will handle it, or Donnie's will handle it if they're not a lot in a row.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll be curious to see. His isn't the only one. The guy that has the sled up at Keystone, his can.
Do you not remember the videos from the last couple of years, Shane?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
like 3 times.
Did it break apart?
And nothing against them guys, but the heat that even light pros are putting out today, that tube is just,
it's got to have a break.
Taking a beating.
Yeah.
Now I remember it breaking in Freedom Hall a couple of times as a kid. I remember the year my brother broke it.
They perfected it though in Freedom Hall. I think they had one incident last year, but the new fan system in there really made a big difference.
So how does all that work? So is all of that tubing and everything that comes in there, is that all Vaughn's that just hooks up, or is that the?
From what I understand, they just bolt on the Bond sled.
When we had the sled, we brought the steel. I'm going to use it that way. We brought the shell, and then their tube hooked because I could be wrong, but I think that Eddie used the farm show tube?
Well, he might have
Was it-
used it from the sled to the Y or whatever, because you remember they went up and over that thing and then went out the whatever year that
They
was.
still
They
do that, I think.
They went up and over the ramp and then out the right hand side of the ramp that year.
Mm-hmm.
Faint memory of that.
But I think, and I don't know if it was there last year, but up to last year, I think Vaughn's smoke machine came as a backup and sit out there, hooked a big semi out there. The purple semi was sitting out there with the smoke machine hooked to it.
Yeah. How many times have we ever had to go to a backup sled at farm show? Once that I can remember.
I think I can remember once, and they went from the green to the red. And if I remember right, Vaughn sent that green one home, and they brought Biggs out. It was the first year Vaughn changed to the green one, and he had all kinds of trouble. And Maynard brought the purple one out and took the green one home. Vaughn said, "Get this sumbitch out of here! I don't want to see it." They went to the red
he
one.
was not happy. No, because there was the year they had to switch from the red sled to the green sled, didn't they?
They've never used a red sled at first in there until the case sled.
Nah, that's not true. 2005 they did. It was all red. The green one didn't come till later. It went from purple to red to green.
Well, I'm talking in the later years.
Oh, okay. I was saying 05, I know it was in there. What about the year Garrett Green went in the sand? Didn't they change sleds? God,
That
what
was the
year
year I'm
was
talking
that?
That was
What
the year
year?
that Vaughn sent the green one home.
Was that 10?
I don't know.
Something like that?
That's been 15 years ago. It's been a long time.
No, because Garrett Green was a component, so it's been at least 10. I don't know.
That's right. So yeah, you don't see it very often.
No, you don't anymore.
And even with Dad and Heartbreak with the Bowling Green sled, I mean, it just rarely that you see anything break.
Wait, did you say Heartbreak?
Heartbreaker sled. The Bowling Green
The Bowling
sled.
Green sled. It's called Heartbreaker. It's called Heartbreaker.
Oh, so I've got Heartbreaker
Yes.
2 down here by me still
It's
then.
it's the same
Same,
rails,
that's it.
the same. Yeah.
So is that the OG Heartbreaker then?
Yes. Heartbreaker 2.
Holy crap, I've ran that sled. Okay. That's cool.
Boy, Shane, you're showing your age.
I've only ever known it as Heartbreaker 2. Like that's all
That's
I've
what it
ever
was
known
back
it
then.
as.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what it was.
It just wasn't
So-
orange. It was blue and white back then.
It was blue.
So what was
blue,
OG
white, red.
Heartbreaker then?
Do what?
So what would have been the original Heartbreaker?
The Bowling Green
The Bowling
sled.
Green sled.
Okay. Now I'm getting it
Because-
all lined out. Okay.
Charles,
Yeah,
I know you had some question about the arena days. You told me earlier.
I was
That's
just kind of curious about not so much the competition. A lot of that is a lot of footage of it. It exists out there.
Yes.
It was more the logistics and the inducement that existed to get people to travel as far as they did back then.
They got paid more than we do today.
Well, and that's
That's true. I mean,
and that's true, and that's the easy answer. But I know there's way more to it than that.
so with the Owensboro boys, and I want to say they were fair, but I think that's the best
Oh,
way.
yeah,
That's the
100%.
best. That's the best way to put it. If they had a good event, by the end of the week, you got another check.
They took care of the pullers.
Yeah, you may get fuel money.
Right.
You know, they just took care of everybody. And I think that was, and there was a loyalty there. And let's be honest, you guys are still running for just because you love. You're not running to get rich, and you're not running to make money. You're doing it because you love the sport, you love the family aspect of it. So,
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of these guys in the winter, what are you going to do? Oh, well, we would go to Tallahassee. We'd stay out for a week or two at a time. I mean, I can remember when we would do the circuit ourselves, we were going to miss school, and our kids, when we would take them out at farm show, they get a terrible disease that week when they were younger. It's called colitis. And they got it for years. So the pullers that, we'd all travel for weeks on end. We'd stay out, spend time in Florida, and it was a family atmosphere. Now there were some crazy things that happened there. So we're having a discussion. I can't remember if it was Macon or if it was Minneapolis, and we may need to get Dan Mayer in on that, on which pull was the first one. But all of us kids remember that when we were at Macon, there was a brothel across the street from the arena, and the news team was there filming the pool, and the brothel caught on fire, and the news team left us and went to film the brothel. So,
Priorities, I guess.
Is it like what
A
pool
light-
has got a strip club in it? Macville.
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 Yeah, and
they
I
got
don't-
a bar, a
Wait.
church, a strip club.
I don't know anything
Dude,
about
what?
that. Not
Yes,
anything about
Macville and the church and the strip club are all in the same general vicinity.
You
Yeah,
can
there's-
walk there.
You can literally walk there. You can see it.
Well, you could. It's not going to be at Macville anymore.
Well,
No.
OG
If you were-
Macville.
if you're at the OG Macville.
OG Macville.
So
There was one across the parking lot from Fort Wayne too.
Yeah, Showgirls, I think it's 3. Because 2's up north, 1's south. I think 3 is the one there by the arena.
I would know nothing about those acts.
Me neither.
Okay, sounds like it.
Hypothetical.
Charles, back me up here.
Hey, I
No,
was married in those days
sorry.
too, so I didn't frequent the establishment. I have no idea what it looks like inside.
Worst thing ever to happen to Fort Wayne was Hooters burning down right next to Coliseum, though.
Right.
And see, we used to hang out at the Denny's at the Minneapolis at the Dome there, this center. We stayed at the hotel across the street and had a Denny's because that's where everybody hung out.
Good old
afterwards.
Lenny's.
You ever
So-
get into any at various places, whether it be Boston, coming to Pontiac, the Rosemont Horizon, go to Minneapolis, where you got stuck in bad weather?
Brother. Oh, Minneapolis! The amount of times and the snow. You never knew what was going to happen on a show. Cincinnati was always a great one. We did Raleigh, Durham. We went out to Norfolk, Tallahassee, Atlanta, Macon. Loved going to Atlanta. So yeah, we loved all those big shows. They were a blast. And then of course my brother Rich, we grew up with Go-Go, Brian. And then Rich, when he was little, he used to help Brian get dressed. He's like, someday I'm going to do that. And then my brother Rich was Go-Go for years.
I'd
For
love to
TNT.
find out where that is, if it's even exists.
The
The uniform.
my understanding was Rich found somebody that had it. If I'm not
We need to
mistaken,
get it
I could be wrong on that.
I don't know about the original, but somebody is wearing one at current TNT events.
Yeah, but they don't look near like the original one.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
So and those are things that I mean, while they're corny in a way that people still to this day remember. And Pull It. Do y'all remember Pull It?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they would Pull It and Go-Go would be constantly trying to knock each other off the mini bike.
Correct. Shane is like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
These two at the top. I'm like,
Nope.
what?
So Pull It was
You gotta
a
remember
chicken
where I'm
at the
from.
farm show.
You've seen the chicken at Farm Show on video, surely.
The what?
So
You've seen the chicken at Farm Show on video, surely.
there's a video
Uh-uh.
of my dad and Pull It fighting. It was so Carl Mercer, one of the TNT guys, his son Scotty was Pull It. He was the chicken.
Yeah.
Oh.
She had the Go-Go and the chicken.
They give them mini bikes and go-karts and just do stupid stuff.
Oh, Go-Go,
In
remember
between.
he come out with toilet paper?
Yeah.
200 foot down there, and everybody laughing. I mean, it kept the crowd entertained. I mean, you think about the mascots with the universities, it's the same concept.
Oh yeah.
Just having something going on when everything else was. And I remember when they put monster trucks in. Oh my gosh. You want
Monster
to talk
trucks
about
used to be the sideshow for pulling.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we used to get to ride in the monster
Mm-hmm.
trucks. I cannot tell you how many cars I've crushed in my lifetime. Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
all the time. Mike Witt, Danny,
Stomper.
Yeah. I just sent Mike Witt an article last night I seen on Facebook that circulated around about him and Stomper back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
yeah.
See, now that's where I can dig into the history side of things. I really dove into the monster truck history as a kid.
They would,
Yeah.
and they probably would have stayed as a sideshow to pulling until somebody figured out those shocks, and then they could be fast, and it was all over then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bigfoot used to come over by my dad's and in this little bitty town called Sereno and would go through the mud on Sunday afternoons.
I can remember
When I was little.
I can remember our county fair probably and I'd have to ask my dad. It was, I was born in 87, so I'm gonna say like 95, 94, 95, where Bigfoot because we're Ford dealers. So back in the day, Bigfoot and Ford, it was like,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
You had a Ford dealership in one of the sorry, Weimer's texting me right now. If you wanted the monster trucks, all you do is ask. I remember our fair one year, Bigfoot, of course, Dan Patrick with Samson, great friends of my family's, theirs, everybody. We had them all there.
We're getting them on too, aren't we?
I'm gonna work on that.
On Dan?
On Dan.
I
That won't
think
be an
that-
issue at
yeah,
all.
I don't think so either.
And they all showed up, but they were there the same night as the tractor pull. But that was right, probably like 95 is right when monster trucks started to kind of take over the.
I think it was earlier than that.
Was it?
I think so.
I
I
never
do.
asked Dad to see what year, because whatever your snake bite.
I know it was because TNT ended in 1990, and they were the ones that started the monster trucks.
Whatever your snake bite was debuted is the year they were at at our county fair with Samson and Bigfoot and all them that
We had
year.
Scott Stevens in there.
Scott, yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Now Scott drove.
In his-
What
Oh,
else did he drive?
there was, yeah. I'm trying to think, but like
Didn't he drive Batman for a minute?
that was later years, but like
Because Pablo
Um,
took over for Scott when
you
Scott
remember
was
Sky
in
Hartley?
Scott
Hart?
Hartsock?
Well, Sky Hartley, he drove a Bigfoot truck. He was there.
Mm.
Dan Pat, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the last time I got to ride was with Scott, and they were getting more and more competitive. And Scott came off, and the truck went vertical. And I got out of the truck, and Dad said, "That's the last time." I was like, "Man." So yeah, we used to ride those. And then Danny Christiani pulled his Mac for a show as well at the TNT events. So semi pulling was back in the 70s was going on.
Mm-hmm.
With that. So the Full Pull magazine, do you remember that? Where
Photo Joe.
Yeah.
no,
Photo
I'm not
Joe.
Full Pull. No,
Oh, yeah.
Power Tracks.
Power
Oh,
truck.
Power
Tracks. So I'm sure you know that. Remember that magazine from years ago. So Woody.
I do. Charles does. These two don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Power
Okay.
Tracks and Pulling Power magazine were on the newsstand at the local bookstore in town every month, and I'd go get them.
Shane's going, what are you talking about? So Charles.
I've got the Puller magazine. That's about all I've got.
Okay. Yeah, you might want to go through history
Teen
of that one.
Crunch. That was it.
Teen Crunch. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So-
remember that one as a kid, but David, I think
Yes.
it was David Smith drove it for a while.
So David Smith had, and he had the ambulance.
Yeah. Darn it.
Yeah. And then his
Oh,
brother
Charles
Charles.
Douglas. Speed. Mother Jugs and Speed.
Right.
I'm about to start nerding out here on the monster truck thing.
Okay. So Charles, in the pulling tracks, if you notice, there is a writer named Bud Hoover. He has a lot of articles in there. So when you go back through and look at that, you never met Bud Hoover that you knew of.
Okay.
So
Ghost Rider.
he was not a ghostwriter, but he was. When they were writing the magazine, he and Susie, Woody Hatton and Susie, they needed more articles besides just from the two of them. So Bud Hoover started putting all these articles. So I asked Woody one day, and I'm like, he always seems to know everything going on, but I've never met him. And he goes, well, you have, you just don't know it. And I'm like, well, can I meet him now? Because I'm just curious. And he goes, you're talking to him. I'm like, what? He goes, we needed another writer. I couldn't put my name on every story. He says, my favorite beer was Budweiser, and my middle name is Hoover. He said, so I started calling myself Bud Hoover. So when you read Bud Hoover's stories, Woody Hatton really wrote them.
I would have
I
never
didn't-
known that.
No.
Yep. I just looked it up. Snakebite debuted in 1991.
So they'd been there right around that time.
That's when SRO.
Because
brought it out.
I remember them coming to the fair, and Snakebite always wore that sock or whatever. Where he didn't want- and he would actually go. He'd actually go into a vehicle or a building or something and take the sock off, take all the stuff off, and then come out and talk to everybody. And you had no idea who he was.
See, now they've tried to recapture that 2 or 3 different times since
Isn't that
then.
Tailgater or something now?
Yeah.
And you know, the monster jam as we know it today, the Bigfoots, the Samsons, they don't screw with that.
They're not a part of
No, because BKT tires and
It's all staged.
RII is the other thing
it.
now.
Well, then
too.
guys like Bob Chandler and some of those others refuse to sell everything out the Feld.
Right.
Yeah.
Gravedigger.
Tailgater's still around.
Gravedigger sold out. What?
Right. I know I know, yeah. But he
Do
used
what?
They said Tailgater's around still.
But that I think that's not a Feld
Yeah, it's not.
deal or whatever.
I'll tell you another one that's still hanging around, the Independent Saints Monster Patrol.
Yeah. When IPL did the Jamboree last year, which Charles was there. The Hall brothers were there, and what was there, 8 or 10 trucks there, Charles?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. At
Those
least.
guys, they're all independent.
Yep.
I'll tell you a place that's near for me, Zach, anyway, that's got a fantastic independent show. Evansville, Indiana. They have got like 16 or 18 trucks every year.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
And them guys are paid by the event, as far as I understand.
Yeah, they are.
They used to be here up towards the Quad Cities, Moline, Illinois. Used to have like a big independent show of like 14 to 15 trucks a lot of times.
Mhm.
So, I'd rather go to one of those shows now. Now, don't get me wrong, the backflip thing's all cool and all that stuff. Now, I remember whenever the first backflip started to happen with, it was either Pastrana 199 still, or it was Nitro Circus back in 2011, 2012 area. That's never all that stuff started
Which-
happening.
I don't know if you guys know this, but all them tricks were designed like 15 miles from Gordyville.
Yeah, because Tom Mentz's
Tom
place is
Mentz's-
right there.
Yeah, the Monster Dream University's right there.
Yeah. Man, you want to talk about somebody I'd love to pick his brain on that stuff.
You know where Tom Mentz got his start?
No, I don't.
Mud racing.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, I do remember reading that
And I
once now.
haven't been to a Monster Jam, and it's been 2 years. I think was the last time I went to one, but it stuck out to me. His truck is the only chassis that's different from all the others.
Because it's got the engine in the
engine
front,
in the
not
front.
the back.
Yeah.
I
Pat's
never
got that deal
understood what
about
difference that
Yeah.
made, though.
Do
I
what?
never understood that.
Do what?
I never understood why he put his engines in the front as opposed to the back.
It's probably just what he learned with and what his preferences were, and got it written into the deal somehow.
Mhm. That Rich would be able to.
Rich would be a good one to
answer.
answer you all and all that
Mhm.
stuff for sure.
Yeah.
At the Houston, the Astrodome, the monster truck.
Oh,
segment.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was absolutely awesome. Watching them. run.
Would Bulldozer have been in that crew of truck?
No, that was
No.
way before that. No, that was way before that.
Because we ran 3 tracks at the dome, at the Astrodome.
So now, were you guys a part of the pulling in the stadiums, like where they would pull on one track and then go over here to the other sled and pull again, and they would combine the two distances?
They did that in Houston.
That was
It-
SRO days,
is it-
wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, but see, Rich was at SRO, and we
Right.
went with SRO. So, because we helped Rich with some of
It
those
had to
shows.
be in the 90s.
Yeah, I want to
I'm
say that
trying
was
to think-
in the 90s.
Something
They were
like
trying some gimmicks in the 90s. I remember at the Silver Dome one night, I think they had, I don't know, a dozen minis that would drag race each other going down the track and whatever.
Yeah, they've tried all that stuff. It's never going to work.
Too many
No.
variables.
Too many
Oh,
variables.
Well, even the sleds, even though they're the same, they're not.
Right.
No. You
Oh,
can
100%.
never.
So you're not.
Anybody that builds a sled today, or even back in her dad's day, it's like a tractor. You can build 2 tractors identical. They're not
They're
going to be
not.
identical.
Nope.
I don't care what you do. Tim Engler will tell you that. You can build 2
Yes,
of
he
them
will.
identical, and they're not going to be
They're
identical.
not. They aren't.
So what year did you guys build the new truck? Which was 90, because you got the body before anybody knew what it was, right? 95.
I'm thinking 95. Yeah, it was 95.
Yeah. Because the 97 F-150 or whatever that Ford did the big
Mhm.
change, they had the body before anybody knew what it was.
Right. We got it out of St. Louis because Anson
Worked for Ford.
went and got the body, and that was my Christmas present. And I got him a new clutch.
She did. She got a new clutch for Christmas.
Pretty good Christmas present, I feel like.
Yeah.
It was though. So other questions that come to mind? I mean, there's a lot there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Because now we're just really lapping into like what my favorite time period has been to go back and research and do. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
just
there's a
so
lot.
much info for
What
someone
year-
like it's just so new and everything for me. I mean,
What
I can
year-
only
Is 94 last year's sub as a farm show? No. Yeah, 94.
94 what?
Last year's sub as a farm show?
Yeah, 90. Yes.
94 was last year that their sub at the farm show.
Candace was a baby.
Because I remember my dad were in there in 91 was last year you were in there, and he pulled the heartbreaker, but your dad's sled was there without the smoke tube in 91.
I was pregnant with Cody, so that would have been 95.
So 95 was
Yeah.
last year they were there.
Because
That's
I
when
wasn't allowed to
Vaughn
ride
come
that
in.
year.
So where's the sled at now?
One of them's on pull off for sale right now.
Mhm. They're all, as far as I
And
know,
if I had 30 grand, we'd own the thing.
Hang on, I'm looking.
Don't go there. You'll get all kinds of bots and stuff. That's a terrible website to even search.
I will look. I want to see what it looks like now.
I think
Not
all
bots
sleds.
from the computer system, bots from something else.
I think all sleds are still active and
Except for the first one, right?
except for number one. Yes.
It's still there.
Yes. Exactly.
I guess it'd be a class 6, wouldn't it now?
It's a
Yeah,
class
class
6.
six.
It's on
It
there.
is.
I sent it to him the other day.
It is.
It's
Yep, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Mhm. But it's cool that they're that old and they're still being used.
I
Yep.
would love to know. Yeah, there it is.
Yes. I rode many a mile on that one. So on the where the wheels are that drop down for the pan on that post right there, that's where you would run to get the kill switch. Right there is where that kill switch would be hooked on that frame.
Okay.
So somebody'd have to run up there and pull it.
You know, they have the
And
board on
and
here now.
You said over
I
here.
sat on the
right side?
I sit on this side where the where the little wheel is. There came out from there, and we had air brakes on there, and we had it was a manual T that you held. You engaged the box for every run.
So now, what classes could that thing run now? Being a class 6.
I think you'd run anything up to like a hot farm.
Yeah, I think class 6 is good up to, well, I know it's good for super farm because up until a year or so ago, that's what our sled up here was a class 6 for the longest time.
I just heard a kick.
Let me see here.
Shane, by the
That-
way, you sent a couple different things from.
Yep. That's what I'm getting on now.
Level 6, yeah, you'd probably run a super farm. I wouldn't want to get much faster. No offense, guys. I wouldn't get much faster than that on it. But I'd love to own that thing. Just saying.
Yeah.
You mean much more powerful?
I wasn't gonna say that, but if you want to say it, that's fine.
This
I
is
mean-
going to be a really good question.
Debbie will be here in just a second. She'll answer
Yeah,
that.
that'll be a good question.
Sorry.
Put that back up, Shane.
That one.
Read it for the people that listen to audio.
All right. It says so. Bradley Sturgeon. He said so. Who were some of the ones around the local with the older sleds? I know Randy Payne had one, and the old Clemensville sled is in Liberty, Kentucky. Steve Martin owns and uses it. So I guess that'd be at the 501 park. I guess one of those is one of them.
Oh, you mean where are some of Dad's?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
did have a list. Just a minute. Let me just pull up and see.
I didn't know that Randy Payne has sled.
I didn't know that either. It's news to me.
Let me see if I still have it.
I have
There's one in New York.
I think
And-
the
and
one
what
he
it-
just showed was that come from New York and ended up because we
It's
talked
in
about that a couple
Indiana.
years ago.
That's in Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're still around because somebody had. We just had this conversation not too long ago.
Number 1 is still sitting in Greenville, Illinois, right?
Correct.
Oh, let's see. Share screen. We found a video of the night train pulling at Bowling Green too.
There you go.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Oh, wait.
08, because that's still old school Iron Man red. That was never the
With
light
the
that
cab,
started
though.
going vertical.
That was a good run.
Yes, it was.
Scott Doty.
I think it was Scott.
Yeah.
Was it Scott or was it Min?
Bob Man.
I think it was men.
Yeah, that's Bob.
The flags are Bob Men.
And
He
his
had the
dad,
most
Bob
unique
Reba,
way
we
to
gotta
stop a
go, we gotta
vehicle.
show.
Charles, just so you know, Shane wants to flag test passes at Gordyville or at Cloverdale until somebody with horsepower comes up. He's like, no, you can have that.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing light pro. I'm good.
Give me them sticks, man. I'll do it.
I said, Shane, you wouldn't know what to do when Jeff's coming at you. You got to clock him off within like a 3-second band.
My first experience flagging was interesting enough when I had Hull.
I've had some very, very nice experiences flagging. Charles and I experienced one. We'll always have that bond, won't we, Charles?
I will tell you what, if you're at
we're
the
gonna
end
be
of
able
the
to tell
track
that
flagging-
story for the rest of our lives.
If you're at the end of the track flagging, I'm dropping 6 or something until they change flagman.
Charles and I were the only ones up there the year after that.
Heck, we were the only ones to stay out there for the very next run.
Yeah, you were.
and not like
Everybody
nothing
else
happened.
was hiding behind stuff.
God bless how far we've come since then.
That
Because
next year, I looked over and like everybody's scattered, and there's Charles and I. was like, well, thanks, bud. I'm glad you're here with me.
You go, we go.
yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget that.
So number 3 or 4 is now in Indiana. Nathan DeLay from Rushville has it. And that was Steve
yeah.
Singer told me that one.
Is that Dino?
No, it's not one of the Singer sleds. I know it's that black one. Yeah, no, it's the one they use for antique pole.
Oh, okay.
So 4 and 5 were the sleds that we motorized. 1, 2, and 3 were not motorized
Okay.
on that. So yeah, sure. I was just going back. Sherry, Rich, and I've been texting a bunch of stuff about a year ago, so it's kind of cool to go back. So for us to build the sled, the last sled in '76 was $25,000.
Hi, Carl.
So I had a question before when it comes to like, and this is just my ignorance to it. What's the reference to like actual town sleds? Like each sled had its own like town name or a reference to it, or what was that about?
That is something I am curious about. How in the world do we come up with the names of these sleds?
Well, because when
Just like you do a pulling tractor, I would think.
So the rock, because it was like you were pulling a rock.
Heavy.
So when Dad built his sled,
Ah.
they were making a comment that these are going to be super sleds. So Dad named it Super Sled. So that's what ours was called. So I don't know if this will. I don't know if we can see it.
If you hold up, they can.
Yeah,
Jake,
hang on, man.
see
I
that?
can make
There you go.
Yeah,
one second,
I'm
one
working.
second.
I'm
So
doing
that's
it.
when we
Hang
had.
on.
What are you doing, Shane?
I don't know. I broke it. Okay,
There
I
you go.
tried.
So
Oh, that looks
Where was
great.
that at?
so that was when we had the route. Well, when TNT was sponsored by Rally, that might be is it Cincinnati.
That's the
think
one I
that's-
wanted. There we go.
What's that? Oh,
There,
okay.
now hold it up.
So that was. I was gonna see if you can hold on. Let me see if you can see the kill switch. No, you can't see it on that one. And then,
And that image would the kill switch be on the opposite side?
yes, it sure would be on the driver's side, for lack of a better word.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then there's another one that adds a super
Oh,
sled that had
wow.
TNT on it. So
By the way, Zach, before when you were referencing the Rupp Arena, I found a video all the way back to 04.
Really?
Ooh. Bet
Uh,
you can't see anything out of that camera, can you?
Not really.
No.
It was, Orange Blossom Special was the one I found of it. There's
who's
tour
that?
guides
So we
sitting
got
in
to
the
place
back.
it to our suitcases. So I'm gonna.
How much did one of the blocks weigh back then to go into the sled?
It's still 2,000.
Still, they were a ton. That
Still-
hasn't changed.
Oh wow. Okay.
So on this, where this green is right here, when there's 4 of us kids, and we'd all pile in the semi, there wasn't room for luggage. So Dad enclosed that and built a lid on the backside, and that's where we stored our suitcases going down the road because there wasn't room in the semi for everything. And people
That's what
did
you gotta do.
And so when some others were building it, they enclosed that, and they had no idea that's why we enclosed it, was for suitcases.
Wow.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean,
Exactly. And that's what we did. So I do know this is one of Dad's now. I don't know where it's at. Not sure how I got the picture even. I mean, they're still out there.
Oh, did that become Maverick at one point
I don't know.
or something like that?
People send them to me. Keep me updated.
Man, I didn't realize he had built that many of them.
He did 5. And then, of course, with the Astrodome, we had 3 tracks and they had to have backup sleds.
Oh my word.
Right. You don't think about that, do you?
I didn't realize they ever ran 3 tracks indoors anywhere.
Yeah, they actually would do, and the dome, it was absolutely awesome. They would do truck parades, and all these 4-wheelers would come in and they do this big parade thing. And we had the 3 tracks, and then they had the monster truck running as well. So Vaughn was starting to build at that time. And I can remember, bringing in another sled, and Dad was talking about it. Rich was working for USHRA or SRO, whatever you want to call it. And they needed sleds. And Dad's like, that Vaughn Bauer, he's building some real good equipment. I can remember him saying it. And he said they have 3 girls and a boy, just like we do. Rich, I think they'd be a great, great sled to bring on to Houston. So that kind of was one of those cool things. That's how long ago that Dad compared to Vaughn and the families.
I wonder what his first sled looked like, because I really don't know.
Was it black?
That I don't remember. I don't know.
I want to say it was black.
Really?
I mean, it don't look much different than what they do today. I mean, Vaughn lowered the rails. I remember right; they were more flat.
Yes, he did.
Charles, do you know?
I don't, but I got some older film that I haven't had a chance to get to yet. That is from Iowa area. It might be in there, but I don't.
I want to say it was black with like a white letter with green highlights, if I remember right.
I know that at one point there was one that was like a bright blue. It wasn't one of his first ones.
You'll
but I
never
know
see
that was
Vaughn
one
have
of
another
them.
blue sled.
Nope. There's not many videos of that one either.
Nope. You'll never see Vaughn have a new. No, you know why?
Did that turn into the purple one?
No, I think he sold that one, but he'll never have another blue sled because of Kinsey Manufacturing.
He went the same color as Kinsey, didn't he?
Yep. Vaughn will never have another blue sled.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what year Rich brought him in. And Ned, bless Ned's heart, Ned was worried about Rich bringing Vaughn in. And Vaughn got to the dome, and Ned, I would call Ned was all over that sled. He was just worried sick what was going to happen at that pole. Bringing in somebody like that.
Ned
Walliser.
Oh.
Yeah. Poor Shane. We've got him.
Wow.
Shane, it goes, buddy, it goes. You're way back.
I didn't know that Ned was involved that far back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
He sure was.
I mean, it's amazing, knowing what I know with their sled technology and what we know today and how far it's came and
It's huge.
how much these sleds have changed. It's just crazy.
Who was the first one to put a cab on it?
Vaughn.
Was it Vaughn?
Yep. We had a windshield. Dad made a windshield for the rocks being thrown at us.
Up through the 90s, so many of them were open station with just a windshield, and that was it.
Well, Mean Green's still open station.
Yeah.
I pulled it last year. I never thought I'd pull that thing in.
There's a few in Wisconsin still open station technically. Just the
Is that the blue one, Wyatt?
Well, Iron Horse was one of them.
That's red, right? Dark red.
Red. And
Yeah.
The partner to the used to be partner to that Iron Anchor was. So, which
It's amazing how fast these sleds have got today. What technology's done.
is crazy because both of those are still pro stocks today. So it's like, all right.
I mean, you just
I've got people sending me pictures of some of the sleds now. One of them's one of your dad's, I think.
Does anybody know what the actual purpose or idea was behind the uphill climb of the weight box for sled?
down pressure. Yeah, it was.
What was that before push down come around?
Yes. Yes.
It makes sense.
Put the arm right when they put the arms on. Dad put arms on
That's Vaughn.
There's Vaughn's first one right there.
Yes.
Well, I think a lot of the early thumb ones before they were self-propelled, that was how you got the backs back to the back of the sled, was gravity, is running it back down the
Right,
ramp.
the box, to bring the box back, because when you
Yeah.
put that weight on, and I mean, you think about some of those have the flatter rail, they had problems getting those boxes. Even for us, I can remember times that they would have to put a pair of forks on it and get the box started because there's so much weight on those things.
Keith, you might be right now that I think about that.
I wondered that.
I think Dave may have had a cab before Vaughn did. I think Vaughn had
Oh.
that the 2-post ROPS with
Yes.
the
You might
cover.
be, yeah.
Keith, I think you're right. I think Dave did have a cab.
See, now I was gonna ask, are we gonna
It's
do
like a
it based off the
9500
open
John
back?
Deere cab, if I remember right.
Yeah,
you
I was
might.
gonna ask if we were gonna base it off the open back or not.
I think you're right. Now I think about that.
We've still got a couple. There's still one down here on Mid South that's still got the open back on it.
Yeah, Robin.
Robin Woods old
Yep.
sled. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Dad's sled.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That one's still alive and well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Robin's
I
is the one.
love
That,
Robin's
that
now is
sled.
a Bauer, right?
well, the black and orange sled.
Yeah, but the maroon one's a Bauer, right?
Yes, but yeah, but Robin bought one of Dad's first ones. I think Robin got the one that they rolled going to the Missouri State Fair.
I think you're right.
I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that's another one of them right there.
Yeah.
I can't zoom in.
Yes,
on
it is.
for some reason.
Well, that box looks big. So we had at one pull, you're talking about the weight of the sled and the rails. That we had a mini rod sled that didn't show up for an event. We were in Pulaski County,
Really?
Illinois, and they didn't know what they were going to do. And Dad's like, I think we can run mini rods. Of course, they're like, there's no way. So we used to tie the pan up. We had chains on the back, and you would pull the pins if you need the pan to be all the way on the ground, or you chain it if you wanted to get them to have a better start. So Dad actually filled the box full of weights, and they thought Dad was crazy. And Dad's like, I'm counterbalancing. Trust me. So Dad put all these weights in the back of the box. We never ran the box. Dad went up to the front of the pan and could pick the pan up off the ground, and it would float back down.
Oh my word!
And one of the mini rods said, I can do this. And we ran mini rods on the sled that night and had a class.
And it worked.
It worked.
That's crazy.
So you just think about that counterbalance. You don't think about what that can do. But
So now would have the uphill part of it, that have helped that then? Because I don't think you could do it if it was just flat down like
You're
that.
probably right, Shane.
I'm thinking about
That would
how
make
that
it would make
work.
sense because it allowed it to come up.
Yeah.
Lifted the pan up off the ground.
You can have a big sled with mini rods.
You can. We did.
In today's world, I'm not sure you could.
Only one way to find out.
oh. Guess who's home?
I'm gonna say Anson's home.
No, you couldn't have one today because I don't think you look small enough.
Anson just walked in the door.
If you want to pull up a chair, they're waiting there. They want to talk 4-wheel drive.
We didn't get the horse first.
He has
the
no
dog.
supper. What's
Yeah.
that?
I said we didn't get
Yeah,
the horse
we
first.
didn't hear the horse, but you heard the dogs.
Yeah,
Yes.
the dogs. Those are my grand dogs. All 3 of them.
Grand dogs.
Any other questions, guys, you can think of, or anybody watching?
No, I'm getting even more pictures sent to me.
I don't know if there's anything in the comments I could find.
No, everybody's been pretty well just chiming in, keeping up with us, really.
Other than the Go Gorilla.
Go the gorilla.
Go Gorilla, yeah.
Gorilla.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Red Man.
That's the heartbreaker.
So Tommy was with Red Man, Pinkerton Tobacco in Owensboro. And he was real good friends with the Owensboro boys. And that's how they came about with the Red Man circuit.
Yeah. Man, your brother blowing it up, man.
My brother?
No, Wyatt.
Oh, okay.
My brother is kind of the history nerd.
Yeah.
He's
So,
He's
Anthony,
got- a lot.
when did
that
you pull
one-
the first tractor?
When was your Light Super?
Light Super. He's thinking.
He's thinking.
79 or 80.
79.
79 Anson had Light Super.
79 or 80.
And it was an Oliver. Shocker.
Come on, work for me here. You're not doing it.
Technology is great when it works.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So that's Heartbreaker there, right?
Right. That's the
Mhm.
Bowling Green sled.
So now this one's turned into Heartbreaker number 2, I guess.
Right.
And see, he was on top, but he didn't have a cab.
Anything. So now, I guess that's another thing I wanted to ask too, because I've kind of been alive long enough to see the light technology change. Right then, it was just one light. I remember whenever they used to be circular,
Didn't it be
and then
yellow?
now they've moved to vertical.
We didn't ever have a yellow, but I remember anyway. As soon as the box was engaged, so I remember we didn't have lights, and then Shane, it was where when you engaged it, then you flipped on the light. And then
Okay.
they decided that it needed to be mechanical, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
went back now, and I don't know at this point.
I think now it's LED, and if you hit the brakes, the red light
It
comes
comes on.
on. If you don't have anything engaged or nothing, and the box gets engaged, it's green. If I remember right.
Okay.
Yeah. Green
I
will
don't
go out. If that air clutch comes open, the green light will go out.
Right.
So now let me ask you this. So why has it changed so much? Is it just for visibility's sake over the years with how the lights have developed?
Right.
It's several reasons. Safety. The pullers think that somebody might not be doing something fair with the sled. So it takes any accusations of, well, you didn't kick the box on until it was at 25 foot, that kind of stuff. We used to hear that all the time.
I think part of it from a guy that runs the flags a lot, it's the visibility.
Mhm.
These LED lights today, I can see the green light, the LEDs a lot better than I can anything. I think that the red light coming on catches your eye more than nothing, I guess I'll say now. From somebody that, runs the flags quite a bit. And then if you hit the brakes, the red light comes on.
Yeah. That's just been something I've noticed, like just watching the old pulling videos, is like how they've just changed all throughout the years.
That was years ago. 100%.
There was a time there, and then the indoor days where I don't remember who pioneered it, if it was on the USHRA side or TNT, got away from flags and went to green lights to even start a pull.
Her brother says every day there is no reason for a flagman anymore. And I'm to the point I kind of agree with him.
Yeah,
The technology we have today, why is one of us sitting out there getting a chance of getting killed like me or Charles?
Yeah.
And so
Well, in my case, just because I'm stupid, you actually have to stand out there and do a job.
But then on pull off, I get ragged because I asked the guy to back up when the block was laying on the ground, because I was just an idiot at that point,
Attaboy.
just like the guys that run pull off. God, I say that I got to stop.
Damn.
Hey, it never that slips out like that. You know that?
Yeah, that day I'll never forget getting on pull off the day. It's like, why'd you ask him to back up? The motor was laying on the ground. I was asking if he was okay.
It's like, well, no, duh.
So
flagman.
There was a whole lot of gesticulations of "Are you okay?" going on in that moment in all directions.
Yeah.
that whole deal that night.
My dad would have hooked to your sled then too, because he pulled in Farm Show in 80,
Oh yeah,
I think 82.
absolutely.
Zach, I think my dad and your dad ran against each other a time or two.
Because your dad had a D21, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure
We
they
still
did.
got the original
Yeah, my
side
dad's-
field sitting in the shop.
Dad started with a 210 and it went to D21. And his D21 was actually the circuit breaker D21, which Carlin's had for a while. And I don't know where it ever went now.
Okay.
Charles, do you know where that thing ended up?
I don't. Yeah, I remember them having it, but
And then
Wait a minute. Hold on.
it was all aluminum back when I remember seeing it last. And then the 7045 got built, which in turn turned into the 8030, which was the Deutz Alice debacle in in Elkhorn that year where the employees got told, and then that tractor got sold to the Schrammics in '92 after Farm Show.
That's one of my favorite stories that your dad tells.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool deal. Well, it wasn't
Yeah.
cool for him because he didn't know what the heck was going on that day. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Can laugh about it
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
He,
really looking forward to that night.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. But they, Dad to this day wishes he would have took when they sent him that Deutz Alice logo, it was made out of a piece of wood to put on the grill of the tractor. It was actually Dremel tooled out of a piece of wood. And Dad goes, that's one of the things I wish today I would have just kept.
Oh, yeah.
What the thing have been worth today.
The OG.
Mm-hmm. So.
Just don't know.
Well,
Right,
guys, I think
maybe.
we've ran this one long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hour and a half, but I've learned a lot in an hour and a half.
Probably things you didn't ever think you would learn, right?
No, not at all.
Charles was sitting back going, yep, we knew you youngins wouldn't know what we're doing.
Nope. Like, there's a reason why we call it the history and pulling. We called it that for a reason, for sure. It's
Hey,
gonna be.
I certainly don't know it all. There was stuff I heard tonight that I hadn't, maybe bits and pieces, but now I can connect some dots.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess the one
Yeah,
final
it's-
question to ask: do we see Night Train make a return to the track sometime in the near future? Maybe for
I don't know.
another
Hanson,
ride.
you want to come answer that?
He's warming him up.
You
for
want to come
supper.
answer that?
Who knows?
To be determined. Like I
like
said,
that
sitting right
idea.
down there under that light.
Semi-trailer, everything.
Everything's right there.
Trailer and everything.
What was the
All
last
right.
version of it? Was it still a big mod four-wheel drive, or was it a version of a four-wheel drive?
Right.
Big
Mod
mod.
4-wheel drive.
It was the one you guys showed a little bit ago with the purple and white
Mhm.
body.
Yeah, Bowling Green.
It's still
Yeah.
sitting right down there.
And so what was the guy's name that did the body?
38.
No,
No,
in Missouri.
GTS.
GTS.
George,
Yeah, George. Because
I'll
he
tell you
did it.
The family that revives the OG Simon Says will gladly do it for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing's beautiful now.
that thing came out absolutely great.
Yep.
It's
So,
pretty.
Yeah. Y'all want to go through some of the lines for Cloverdale, or you guys want to save that for another time?
we'll say that for another night.
All right, sounds
It's
good.
9:30 here. So
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this going an hour earlier thing's great. Whoever had
Mhm.
that is a genius.
don't take too much credit, would you?
I'm talking about you. You're the one who said do it.
I know.
There's a lot of people that also suggested it too. So I was like, all right, well, yeah, we might do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm game for this because when I'm at home and it's 11:30 and I'm going to bed, I'm not happy the next morning.
No. No. But
Fair enough.
yeah, Charles, thank you for jumping on with us, buddy.
Sure,
as
absolutely.
always.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Merry
Get ready for
Christmas.
more
Yeah.
silly season because it's just beginning, folks. And
This is our last one of the year, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah, this is gonna be our last one of the year. Real quick before we jump out, favorite moments from the year as far as Motorsports Almanac goes, or your summer went.
I think for mine, Shane, as you not believe me, Idaville's a town of 20 people and it turns into 5,000 a night of pull night and your jaw just dropping when you walk into that place.
Yeah. God, I hope I
That
get to
or-
go back there.
That or you and Charles announcing Friday night at Greentown together. You guys did a phenomenal job.
Appreciate
I
that. Thank you.
appreciate
Did y'all
that.
review your farm show stuff?
We did last week.
Okay.
Yep.
Missed
We
that.
What
ended
about you,
up
Charles?
80
I think probably for me, the coolest moment of the entire year was one that was actually a little bit on the private side, and that was sitting in a barn in the middle of California with Mr. Purser and his unlimited drinking beers at 3:30 in the morning. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt, go ahead.
Or Wyatt?
I'm gonna go a little personal here. Finally getting the monkey off our back that we got a Grand National win for the first time in 11 years.
Made in Farm Show.
Yeah. Farm show rookies.
Shane,
That's something that I have not been. That our team has not been called in a very, very long time. That's gonna be
I
really weird
know. I thought about that.
because that tractor is gonna be on the track for the 35th season.
Yeah. Announcing Idaville was definitely one of mine. Getting to come up there and do y'all shows this summer. The top 5 finishes on the Grand National Tour, obviously, and Honestly, getting to interview Rodney Schnitker starting off the year in 2025 in Cloverdale, Indiana, after he won 5-0s indoors, was pretty freaking cool.
What's your favorite polling memory of 25?
Now, I know you've been to a few. We've ran into each other
Yeah.
multiple times.
We have. I just like going, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
We went with the Longs this summer. Some just kind of hang out with them, and of course we go to the Phillips and love hanging out with them as well.
I will say one
Bowling Green.
that probably
Oh, yeah.
other than that, the highlight to me was my pass at Fort Recovery and Charles.
Oh,
College.
yeah.
Oh God, that was
That
I was expecting
that-
you to say that.
That will go down in history when I heard Charles call after that. Yeah, I know why Vaughn took it away. I get why they did what they did.
Yeah.
Looking back now, even Vaughn will tell you himself they should never took it away. But
Yeah.
that was probably from a pull and actual on the seat. That was the highlight of the summer.
Yeah, that was a
I
monster pass.
When I look at the flagman, he's just like, "Yeah, I'm just going to let you go by." And I know Big's probably in the cab going, "Where is this guy going?"
He said, I didn't know where we was going, but I was going with you.
It's 33.5 mile an hour. It was fun.
That's awesome.
See, I think they ought to give the speed now too.
It's coming.
I think that would
It's
be. I
coming.
think that would add to the pulling.
That's going to be part of the
They do
whole full pull
speed,
deal.
and if
From
they
what I
do
hear.
the tire speed, that would be another thing.
Oh,
Just
that'd
started
be
doing
fun.
non-component chassis.
Still think it'd be cool.
Charles, we incorporate that big time into our show at Cloverdale every year.
I like being able to talk about the ground speed, but I can think of back in the past, and I'm going to pick on four-wheel drive pullers because it was them who didn't want me to do it. They did not want it announced. They didn't want the
Really?
older guys knowing how fast they were going down.
Right.
the
They
track.
didn't want the gearing because gearing is
Yep.
so important in our class.
There was an ATPA Grand American event up here back around 99, 2000, and I was walking the pits, and I want to say it was Donna Webb's truck, had a spreadsheet on the dashboard of all the ratios and speeds, and I'm like, should I be seeing this? Because that'd be top secret info.
Still
Yeah,
is. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Anson has his.
That night at Fort Recovery, that afternoon at Fort Recovery, Blake come up to me. He's like, "I'm going to throw you on that left sideline. I don't know what's going to happen." And I rolled out on that thing, and all of a sudden it set me back in the seat, and I went, "This is going to be fun." And I looked
How I
over and
felt
said,
in Brandenburg, man.
it was one of them passes that I didn't even feel the box top. I outran the box.
Yeah, those were fun.
Mm-hmm. So
All right, y'all. Merry
Have Merry
Christmas and
Christmas,
Happy New Year to
everybody.
everybody that
Everybody.
stuck around for this. We will have episodes. I'd say episode number 2 is going to be the one on the 20th.
20th of January. Yep. We'll announce that from the sand pile at Cloverdale.
Yep, we are going to be doing a Wednesday night show at Cloverdale again right after the test passes are over. We got clearance to do that again
Charles,
this
you
year.
going to be there for Wednesday night this year?
I
If you're
should
not
be.
sick?
Yeah, if I don't wind up with
Not in
IV
the
stuck
hospital,
in a
playing
hospital.
And then I don't drive to the wrong hospital. But anyway,
It's a story for another day.
Yep.
we will see y'all
Merry
next time.
Christmas,
One I did not
everybody.
Merry
enjoy.
Christmas, Happy New Year, y'all.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Damn.